death will be involved. Hey y'all, it's Nat. I hope you're having a terrific day today, and for this video, we're going to be talking about my August TBR. Alright, before we get into anything bookish, make sure to hit like and subscribe down below, as well as tell me in the comments what book are you most looking forward to reading in August. Alrighty, so we are here once again, and I am once again in a little bit of a weird reading space. As I talked about in my Summerween reading vlog, which I'll link in the cards up above, things have been a little bit crazy for me, and so everything up here has been a little wonky when it comes to my reading. As of right now, I am actually doing a little bit better. I was having a few days there where I was wondering if I even really enjoyed reading anymore. And now that I've found some books that I'm like really eating up, it's going better. But I think part of the problem is I needed to take a little bit of the stress around trying to get all of these books read that I needed to read and allow myself to mood read a little bit more and just pick up what I'm feeling and what sounds good, just going with the vibes. So I'm kind of riding that same wave with August. I do have some books that I'm gonna do my best to try and get read, and then I'm also gonna be participating in Jan Agaton's full moon readathon. So I do have a TBR, but like this is very much a subject to change TBR right now. So let's start at the top with my obligation reads with book clubs. So first and foremost is the book club that I host myself over on my Patreon, which is called the Geek Squad. This month we are going to be reading A Botanical Daughter by Noah Medlock, and I'm really excited for this one because it is a Frankenstein retelling with this queer couple who end up creating a botanical daughter. I've heard good things about this one, but I haven't heard many people talk about it. The cover was what initially got my attention, so I've been really intrigued to read it, and I'm hoping I will love it because, again, I'm a sucker for a horror novel with a floral cover. I don't know why, it just works very well for me. It is a perfect combination of my tastes. Hoping I will love this. If you want to join us, I'll have a link to my Patreon in the description down below. We'll have Discord channels broken down so we can talk about it as we're reading, and then I will have a spoilery reading vlog at the end of the month. This one, though I said obligation reads, like it's not going to be too hard for me to make myself pick this up. Next is for my romance book club, which I do in person, and this month is to read a book that was recommended to you. So we can really kind of go any which way we want with this. We could stretch it if we like, but recently my friend Allie was telling me about You Between the Lines by Katie Naiman, and I actually got a copy of this from Forever Publishing, and I've been really excited to read it because it gave me beach read vibes, and she said the same thing whenever she read it. I'll read the little blurb right here at the top because I think it encapsulates the story pretty well. All's fair in love and poetry when former high school classmates reignite their rivalry in a prestigious MFA program in the steamy Enemies to Lovers debut. I love books where the characters are bookish. Enemies to Lovers, right up my alley. And then again, beach read vibes. I'm very excited for this. Allie knows my taste very well. She thinks I will enjoy this. I think she is right. So I'm hoping to get this one read for that book club this month. Also, speaking of Jan Agaton, I'm planning to partake in her full moon book club this month because she's reading The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman, and this has been on my shelves for like 4 years now, at least 3, and I really need to get this read. I think the series has officially wrapped out now. It is cozy mystery, which if y'all had any time around here, you know I don't particularly love, but I've heard the stakes in these are a bit higher. It's also British, and British humor does tend to work for me. Plus, this is getting turned into a Netflix movie, and the cast looks phenomenal, and I really want to watch that. So naturally, I need to read the book first. So this is following a group of friends who live in a retirement village, and I think like one's a nurse, one was a cop, different things such as that, and they all work together to try and solve these cold cases. I've heard almost only positive things about this series overall, that it's a lot of fun, it's really cute. This is gonna force me to finally read it because I've owned it for so freaking long, and I'm really hopeful I will enjoy it. You guys are gonna be shocked to hear that I'm not going to have any Star Wars books this month. I feel like the obligation reads have been kind of weighing on me more lately, so if I am feeling like picking up a Star Wars book, I will do so. I actually didn't read any last month, so if I do feel like picking up some Star Wars, it is going to be one of the books from last month's TBR. Those being Thrawn Ascendancy Greater Good by Timothy Zahn. This is the second in the Thrawn Ascendancy series. Or The Mask of Fear by Alexander Freed. This is the first in a new series called Reign of the Empire. I'm really intrigued to continue on with the Thrawn series. I'm very interested to see where is this series going to go. But seeing as how only the first one has been released, I don't have as much drive to really start into it. But I do need to continue on with my Star Wars canon project at some point. Just right now, I am letting myself push that day back a little bit. So lastly of my obligation reads, but this one is like the least obligation because honestly this is very much a possibility pick, is to read a nonfiction book. And I'm trying to go through and read my nonfiction books oldest to newest. So that means the next one up is American Sherlock by Kate Winkler Dawson. I have been in a bit of a true crime mood lately, so I think this actually will be interesting and keep my attention, meaning it probably will be the book I pick up this month to fulfill my nonfiction goal. It captures the life of the man who pioneered the science our legal system now relies upon, forensics and the birth of American CSI. So like I said, I've been in this sort of a mood anyway. I think chances are I probably will pick this one up. All right, so lastly, as I said, I am participating in the Full Moon Readathon, which is hosted by Jan Agaton. Love her to bits. If you don't know who she is or don't know what this readathon is, I'll put links for all of that in the description down below. But you have 4 different characters, each with 3 different prompts, and you want to try and get as many characters as possible. I'm letting myself double up, and again, there's always the possibility that these may change, but we'll see. Since I am doubling up, rather than going through prompt by prompt, we'll go through book by book and I'll tell you what prompts this will fulfill. From the top, I have got 𝗖cie here by Claudia Lux. This is another one that has been on my TBR for a very long time, so I really need to get it read. I got this in October 2022 from Book of the Month, and it is sort of a horror fantasy, I hear, where we're following a demon who like makes deals with people for their souls, and if he gets the last member of this family to make a deal, he like gets a promotion or something. I've heard it's really funny, and I think it may have some gore in it. I'm not really sure. I will be reading it for could use as a weapon because technically it is over 400 pages, just barely, but over 400 pages. And that's the first prompt for the Grim Reaper. Plus for the spider prompt, an 8 book. Sign here is 8 letters. And then lastly, like I was just saying, I've owned this one for quite some time. So for Bring a Book Back to Life on the Frankenstein character, a book that has been on your TBR for over a year, this will definitely fulfill that. I have only just now realized that for the second prompt of the Grim Reaper, I technically could use American Sherlock because the prompt is a book that involves death. And seeing as how this is obviously talking about forensics when it comes to crimes, death will be involved. Actually, the more I think about it, the better this gets. This also, I could say, counts for, what is it, like ugly cover, intriguing prompt, which is the first prompt for the Goblin character. So I wasn't initially intending for this book to count on this readathon. Now though, thinking it may. Next up on my radar is Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield, and this one was chosen because it is a slow-paced book, and the first prompt for the Frankenstein character is slow burn / slow-paced. It was kind of a default pick, but it also can work for the first of The Spider, a creepy book, seeing as how I believe it is a literary horror story where we were following this couple, one of which she was in like a submarine for 6 months. I think she got trapped down there and now has since returned home, but her wife is realizing like something is not quite right and something definitely changed while she was down there. I've heard a lot of positive things about this one. I've been wanting to get to it for forever, so I figured this will finally push me to do so. And then the last prompt that honestly either of these last 2 books could work for, but I'm also just kind of letting myself figure out if something else would work, and that is going to be the final one of the Goblin character, Trickster, a book that has a plot twist. So, sign here, possible it'll have a plot twist. Our Wives Under the Sea may also have a plot twist, but if I'm needing something else, I could go for a thriller or a quick mystery, something like that that I'll just work through really fast. Meaning I don't have a set one here, but even with that, that's going to be 4 books. And this is only going to last a week. So I'm already going to be pushing it. Oh, and then of course, I actually forgot, I do also have a few arcs that I really want to try and get read. So starting at the top is My Best Friend's Earl by Bethany Bennett. Bethany Bennett is an author at the Romance Book Tea event I'm going to be attending in October. So when I saw this one up for grabs from Forever on NetGalley, I had to apply for it. I think this one is following a woman who, like, her best friend was betrothed to this Earl, but I think the best friend's like in love with somebody else or something. And so our main character is trying to break them up, but along the way ends up falling for the Earl. I think that's what's happening here. It sounds cute though, and I really enjoyed the first book I read by this author last year, so I'm hoping to enjoy more of her work. Next one is It Had to Be Him by Adib Karam, and honestly, I saw queer second chance romance and pretty much immediately requested it, but the actual description sounds very fun. We're following a man who has just recently been broken up with in public for being too boring, and so he He really takes that to heart and decides to take a spontaneous solo trip to Italy and ends up running into his high school crush who has also just gotten divorced. This sounds like a silly, fun, cute time. I believe this author has come out with numerous YA books, but this I think is supposed to be his adult debut, and so I'm really hoping I will enjoy it. Final arc, I would really love to get started into Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. I'm so excited for this. It is supposed to be set in the same universe as her Divine Rivals duology. In this one, we're following Matilda, who is a goddess of music, and I think she forms a bond with this mortal man Vincent whenever he's on the younger side, and like he dreams of her or something like that, and they like exchange letters, so you know I'm here for the letter writing aspect. But eventually their connection is broken and they both end up growing up, but then once they're adults, fate throws them back together, and now they have to figure something out to stop these bloodthirsty gods that are trying to take over. I am so excited for this. I cannot wait. I've been chomping at the bit to pick this up, and so I think I'm officially gonna let myself do that this month. All right, and on that note, that is officially it for today, y'all. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. I really appreciate it. Make sure to hit like and subscribe down below. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, let's do some sort of a musical emoji in the comments. I have links to all my socials, as well as a few ways you can support me down in the description. I come out with videos on Monday and Friday, but until then, I hope you continue to have a terrific day. Love you, bye!